I'm exiled and hunted by assassins. But I assure you, I remain undaunted and as determined as ever to claim my rightful throne.
Oh, don't stare. How would you look after eons in some ghastly crypt? Your people are rather prone to death. Mine are not. Yet when I emerged from my completely unjustified imprisonment, I found them gone. Our culture forgotten. Any trace of the world I knew all but obliterated. I must even hide my true face beneath an ever-shifting mask for fear you savages will attack me. That is how I wander this strange world, trying to uncover the truth about a history you primitive people never even knew existed.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared, and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
So, still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry, the sedative will wear off soon enough. Easy now, no need to hurry. Get your bearings and report to me upstairs.
Well now, aren't you a curious sight? If I'd had a mask to hide my bones as well as yours, where'd you get it? There can't be many curios like that in the world. Ha! Fresh out of the crypt, are you? No. Or walk about like you still had flesh on your bones in your case. You even have yourself a silky mortal voice. Ha! Should have known it was still. You'd best keep that mask on. The
changed. You are you, but more. You look to your hands, your belly, your feet. Flesh you don't know. Your fingers trace a line from your head to your face, feeling not the creases of the mask.
This again? Junk. An animal sty. Freight or food? This again. This again.
The Magister Guard snorts and sniffles as he sleeps. You're almost impressed that one man can make such a...
Wait, you're no Magister. You're a sorcerer. What are you doing here, filthy scrounger? Choose your words carefully. A clever story. I should have known there'd be trouble.
So much for a peaceful stroll.
The prisoner's gaze finds the sunken hollows that once held your eyes.
Ah, freedom! And I can set you free in return.
To the dark with you. What would he have to gain by killing me? Strange forces are at work.
Empty.
And I'm back where I started. Nowhere to go but up. How crude. I've seen more intricate design in a butcher's slab. How crude. I've seen more intricate and now you are silent. If only all... And now you are silent. If only all humans were so thoughtful.
No marks, no indications of a struggle.
My, these smelling salts are strong stuff.
I'll need to write to headquarters right away.
Why, you're looking a bit more chipper. Yes. Looks like that collar fits you snugly enough. Nice bit of work, even if I do say so myself. There you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
No marks, no indications of a struggle.
Is he? Oh well. Some problems simply sort themselves, don't they?
She frowns and peers at you.
Delusions such as these are rare, but not unheard of. I recommend a cup of... Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those source spells of yours? See what happens. Oh, do go on. I won't hold it against you. Promise.
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling, but
You better stop before you hurt yourself. There you have it. See? The collar's function. It... For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's. Why? Because we're at sea of...
Index fingers pressed to her lips.
My word. You do seem a bit... Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. A new life awaits. And if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well.
Good gods, there's been a murder here.
Behind the Magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out. Aren't you enterprising? Go ahead. She...
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
Everything's spick and span. Nothing left to do, really.
Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. Two things scare. We'll find out who did this.
She looks up at you with a mirth.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. Finn was killed by Source. If a Magister, it looks more like a passenger managed to slip there. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Not in here, it isn't. You let me know if you hear anything. No lesions, no trauma. He was bled by magic.
Why won't you sing?
I forgot how to sing. I did.
Do you know Losa? She's a really good singer.
Ah, there you are. Husband. Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not-at-all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing, in fact. How very correct you are, spouse of mine. Madam Joseph... What? What's so...
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go...
She turns to you, dark-eyed and...
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we? You presume right. Nope, trying not to find anything out either. Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. You take care, though.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Grey as quickly as they came. The clouds...
Good luck, Chief.
What's your job? You look like a...
Mad? Insufferable? Surely.
I'm here because I'm magic. Are you...
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
You one of them? A Divine Order loyal? They killed a sorcerer, you know. They'll hide the evidence well enough.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms... He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but...
Listen up, boy. You hear that? The ship, of course.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chat...
And?
Got this wolf on a leash now.
The fellow cocks his ear.
That isn't ang.
He cocks his ear to the other side.
Anticipation. She sent... That's all you hear, though. Listen close. There now, just like that. Squeak! Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news. It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we... Pardon my beard. That means if we'd been travelling for... Yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy. Captain, actually. And that figured...
The dwarf leans back from the table and...
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
He continues stroking his...
How dare you Well, well. What have we here?
The lizard looks you up and down, like all of a sudden he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
There's some discoloration. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook? In which case, I take it your cuisine is limit. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor? Yes, I can tell from your vagabond chic. A bag is as... On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's... The very base. So, 3 questions asked, 3... As per your own testimony, you can groom, but you have the taste buds of a dung beetle. That won't do at all, see? I'm sad to say I must deny you the opportunity to be my slave. Ever so sorry. My slave, of course. Still, hone your skills, and one...
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
That's right.
I spent my life... Meanwhile, the Magisters feast...
Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a campfire. I'm busy watching for clues, sorcerer.
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murder...
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man he leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight.
Pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back.
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago. Isn't that right, Vic?
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws... Ifan grins, flashing...
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants. Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the Joy. No. The dead man. Finn, is it? I'd no business.
He glances over at Magister Vic.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough. The Joy. I've heard a lot. Nothing good. Wonder if we'll get to meet the Ringmaster himself. Not interested in the son of the Divine himself?
What are you conspiring?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just gotta be in...
Name!
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible to...
Away with you!
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet.
Insufferable, surely.
What are you trying to hear, anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Name? Well, you aren't here on my list.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
Here to register, sir. Good. You faring okay so far?
He tugs the collar of his
Sorry you're upset, sir. You head on in now. Well...
Keep with those bolts trained on her, and if she tries...
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking Magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her.
So you admit it, then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head.
And there are others whose lives must end.
Good God! The woman's... You there, sorcerer! Go and fetch Magister Siwan! We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
It means your journey draws to a close.
She reaches for her collar and simply removes...
I'm just about to create...
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will...
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
If these savages see me without it, they will have my skull for a goblet.
In a heap on the floor. She... The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious.
Before this thing snaps into splinters. Damn. That doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
Thank the gods! What a fine great...
He eyes the collar circling your...
Another sorcerer!
The Magister's companion doesn't blink, frozen in place at the sight of you.
Even if I knew how to rip that thing off, I wouldn't.
He whispers loudly to the...
Don't just cower there, Rick!
Rix grabs his sword, which shakes in the rhythm of his trembling hand. The Magisters looked...
Your lies...
God damn it! Need to get off this wreck. Quick. Not long before this thing snaps into splinters. Damn. That doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
Gods.
He eyes the collars.
Another sorcerer! Like you don't know? Mutiny! Did that witch fix your... Curdled my blood when she appeared. Ship shook like a typhoon had struck and then she was gone again. Your lies...
before this thing snaps into splinters. Damn. That doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards. Something's pounding on the hull.
The marking on the door was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You press your palm against the door to open it. Your fingers clack against the wood, and it doesn't budge. The door groans open.
Something's breaking through. Who the hell are those?
Deathfog? Good thing I'm immune. Still, this means trouble.
lifeboat. That means there's still a chance.
Shut your trap, kid! Children and dwarfs.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes.
You said there were other people down there.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
There's a ladder right over there. You can go straight...
You're gonna be the death of us.
If you can walk, get yourself... Wait. Void Woken.
Beardless bugs won't sink a ship on my watch.
I thought Void Woken was supposed to be scary.
Let the games begin.
I've faced worse.
They who are about to triumph. Magister Siwan, the one who put on this damn collar.
She tries to speak, but can only gape as she clutches her neck, trying to stem. With jagged movements, she raises her clenched fist and holds out a length of blood, quickly soaks through the cloth. Magister Siwan's mouth opens and closes, her eyes wide in terror. It's working. The pressure is stemming something within the ship snaps. The floorboards shudder. Siwan struggles to her feet, clinging to you tightly.
It's ripping the ship apart.
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Oriven.
Well, that was decidedly unpleasant. Am I the lone survivor? Depending on one's definition of survivor, of course. Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn. They made it to shore. Bloody collars were supposed to keep those things at bay. Drowned and eaten by a Voidwoken. I wonder in which order.
The squirrel looks at you in shock. Are you sure you want to? The squirrel turns his nose up at you and turns away. But it... You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady mouth. Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist.
I did survive, yes. And chances are I wouldn't have, had you. You have my
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero. Now then, if there's nothing further... If you really must know, I haven't quite decided yet.
He sighs.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? Touché.
He looks out over the water once more.
As for myself, when I consider this, I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my... What do you mean, what do I mean? I mean just what I said.
Suddenly, having all the air...
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who the very same? I am the Red Prince. Of course you know.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which...
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find the grandeur that is my fate has... hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have. Truly. A kind offering. Fine. On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him. Jolly good. Oh, my word. Come now, did you really think a hand... But don't worry. I have studied the arcane art. So, now that that's settled, even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I... As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic, and yes, even subterfuge. What say you? Very well. Onwards...
The Red Prince nods and gives you a...
Now, as you're aware, you'll be travelling with a prince. As your luck would have it, of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but...
Ah, hello, small, furry creature. How do you do?
The cat's eyes are clouded and its eyes clear.
Hey, mister. I'm sure glad you went back to save the others.
Where is he? I know nothing of any virtue.
Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our Godwoken speaks.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapees.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come!
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger...
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you. The fate of our realm hangs in Dallas.
Yes, Your Holiness. What a waste. Where is he? Come. Will be needed elsewhere.
The Lizard Magister, or what's left of her, lies in a puddle of gore.
She was a lizard, yet a magister. No matter her reasons, her penalty was fair.
He hasn't changed a bit. Always late.
Mercy. Mum wasn't kidding.
Did you see him? You did, right? Those claws. Wonder what's behind the masks, too. Can't be pretty. That, Magister, that was Bishop Alexander. Lee better get to it, then. A Magister will come and find...
It's time to accept reality. A fella can't hear himself think with all this racket. You hear that, Farah? You got to cut that out. What's happened to ya?
Known her all my life. Her little girl Irma, too.
Distraught don't even begin to cover it. She's hollering up and there ain't no amount...
I don't think I ain't watching. That's your 5th blue jester this round. Yeah, what of it? Ah, Krabby, you gobblers, the both of you!
If you don't like the game, Topsy, you can fold.
No. Just because the pair of you are filthy cheating liars don't mean I can't beat you.
A little respect for Griff's right hand, Topsy girl.
Right hand, my winker. Fella's got more right hands than an octopus.
That's it. I call court. Pay up.
I don't think I ain't watching. That's your 5th blue jester this round. What of it? Yeah, what of it? Ah, Krabby, you gobblers, the both of you!
If you don't like the game, Topsy, you can fold.
No. Just because the pair of you are filthy cheating liars don't mean I can't beat you.
A little respect for Griff's right hand, Topsy.
Right hand, my winker. Fella's got more right hands than an octopus.
That's it. I call court. Pay up.
don't think I ain't watching. That's your fifth blue just to this road.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead I became part of their story.
So, still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry, the sedative will wear off soon enough. Easy now.
Well now, aren't you a cute... Where'd you get it? There can't be many curious... Is that a fact? I've never heard such... Ha! Still, you'd best keep...
An animal sty. Freight or food?
The Magister Guard snorts and sniffles.
Wait, you're no Magister. You're a sorcerer. What are you doing here, filthy scrounger? Choose your words carefully. My fists ached.
The Magister considers...
You're honest, I'll give you that. I should have known there'd be trouble.
So much for a peaceful stroll.
The prisoner's gaze finds the sock...
Oh, and I can set you free in return.
What would he have to gain by killing me? Strange forces are at work.
Empty.
Good thing I needn't worry about splinters.
Why, you're looking a bit more chipper. There you are. Not too tight. In the meantime, you'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters. Is he? Oh, well.
She frowns.
Delusions such as... Why, for my peace of mind, of course.
Currents of magics.
You better stop before you hurt yourself. There you have it. For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours. Why?
Index fingers.
My word. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather a new life awaits.
gods!
A young Magister stands behind the Magister. A bloodied mass.
Easy now. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does. Aren't you in? Go ahead.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwoken followed the source that did this. Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us. We'll find out who...
She looks up at you with a...
I was on duty. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. Finn was killed by Source. It looks more like a past... Listen, I could you bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Think about it. It's one of... Who's your real... You let me know if you... So, anything interesting for me? I'll take that as a no.
How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
Please, please, please! I forgot how to sing. I did.
A broad dwarf sits totally... He raises an eye.
Listen up, boy. You hear that? The ship, of course.
A wave of sound.
And? Sick as a leper's cat. From this... But there's more. Listen. There now.
Squeeze!
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his...
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. No, you beautiful idiot. Now, pardon my beard. That means if we've been travelling for... Yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy. Ah, so you've eyes as well as ears, eh? You'll go... no indeed, boy.
The dwarf leans back from the table.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
How to sing. I did.
You one of them? A Divine Order loyal? They killed a sorcerer, you know. They'll hide...
I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
There's nothing else
Name?
for me, Your Majesty. Turn it.
Well, you aren't here on...
All I was given.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen...
I spent my life... Meanwhile, the Magister's feast...
Well, well.
The lizard looks... All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your...
My, we are... Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook? Mew. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? Oh, but to feel the caress. On then to my final query. The very big. So, 3 questions. As per your own testimony, I offer you my sincerest congratulations. As of now, you are my slave, of course. Anyway, you may leave me for a moment.
A scruffy man lounges...
Watch your back.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning. Then he leans in.
Pinches less that.
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direct...
We used to know each other. More's the pit.
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Ifan grins.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and... Long story. Maybe I'll tell you... No. The dead man. Finn, is it? I'd know...
He glances over at Magister...
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough. The Joy. I've heard a lot. Nothing. Wonder if we'll get to meet the Ringmaster himself. Not interested in the son of the Divine...
What are you conspiring?
Oh, don't mind him.
Name.
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then...
Away with you.
Ifan performs an elaborate
I'm busy watching...
If you'll be pardoning...
You look like my daddy.
I know it. Would you put a knuckle in it?
Do you know Losa? She's a
They don't care about us.
Ah, there you are. Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not-at-all brat-like babes that I am...
The young woman seems about to raise her hand, but quickly remembers...
Who indeed?
The children break out.
I say, it...
Her pinched face cracks into a...
Yeah, okay.
She turns to you.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we? Like yourself, maybe. I don't mind the kid. Nope. Trying not to find thanks, but I already believe. You take care, though.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to as quickly as they came. The cloud...
Good luck, Chief. Take it easy, Chief.
I'm here because I'm...
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily robbed.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like. Rolling dice, deciding fates. Don't worry, honey.
She looks you up and down with...
Never say never, though.
She eyes you quite...
Not the future, no. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall...
She looks at you in surprise when you... She gives your arm a
You were desperate to speak up, to reach out, to form a connection with these strange creatures. But you were scared. Terrified. Of course it is. But don't you worry, darling. I don't...
So, and I'll take that as a...
One of us wouldn't kill our
The woman keeps rolling.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty.
Mad?
Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned
Insufferable,
than your...
surely.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Why won't you sing? Be good, you scallywags.
Ask what you must. I've nothing to hide.
Seems to me you should be a little more afraid. There's a killer about, after all.
Till overboiling a bit of cabbage becomes a crime, I shall hold my head steady.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten Ben-Mest. Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a campfire.
The hatch is blocked. I'll need to find another way.
That's enough now.
It was one of them. I know it.
Here to register, sir. You faring okay so far? Trust me, with Bishop... You head on in now. Williams...
Keep those bolts trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot.
Standing at the center of the room, you...
So you admit it then? You murdered...
Yes, I did.
She turns her head.
There are others who's...
Good. You there, sorcerer. Go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac.
No, I'm afraid...
She reaches for her collar.
I'm just a...
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she can't source, the voice...
She smiles with wicked...
Precise.
Mask. She stole it. If these savages see me without it, they will have my skull for a goblet.
Nothing to see here.
Not long before this thing snaps into splinters. Damn. That doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
He eyes the collar circling.
Another sorcerer! Even if I knew how to rip that thing off, I would. Go on, then.
God damn it! I need to get off this wreck. Quick. Great gods! Something's pounding on the hull.
The marking on the door was you press your palm. It doesn't bug. The moment you touch the... Touch the door. Great, the door groans open.
Ooh, something's breaking through. What in the hell is all this? Death fog? Good thing I'm immune. Still, this means trouble. means there's still a chance.
Shut your trap, kid.
The dwarf yanks at one of them.
You said there were other people that...
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
Thank you, thank you! There's a ladder right...
You're gonna be the death.
The Magister lies on the
Nothing to see here.
If you can walk, get yourself up the ladder. There's a... Wait. Voidwoken.
Beardless bugs won't sink a ship on my watch. Glory is mine.
Let the games begin.
I'll yield to none!
They who are about to triumph.
I thought Voidwoken was supposed to be scary.
I've faced worse.
Prepare yourself.
We make a pretty good team.
I hear something. It's Magister Siwan. The one who...
She tries to speak, but can only gape with jagged movements. She raises her bloody bubbles froth.
Well, that was decidedly unpleasant. Am I the lone survivor? Depending on one's definition of survivor, of course.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angle.
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers.
The child considers your...
You're weird. Are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void thing?
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong. Or crazy. No one cares where I go. They know I can't leave the island. It's nice, but you didn't die. I guess I am, but it's just normal to be scared. There isn't anywhere safer. You'll see.
Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn, they made it to shore.
I'll deal to none.
Your maker. I thought these bloody collars were supposed to keep those things at bay. Drowned and eaten by a Voidwoken. I wonder in which order.
You spot a strange... Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one. The lizard turns about with a grace...
And a dutiful servant you are too. You have my...
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob.
Yes, I'm sure you've all... Nevertheless. Now then, if there's nothing further, if you...
He sighs.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? Memories.
He looks out over the water once more, and so...
As for myself, when I see continents dotted with mighty cities, and shimmering along the soft... Of course, it's rather...
Suddenly...
Well, don't just stand there, gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you... The very same. I am, of course you...
There's a brief moment.
That said, the grandeur that is my fate, truly. Fine. On one, for reasons I've reason to believe, jolly good. Oh, my word. Come now, did you read? But don't worry. So, now that's... Even if you are as a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. Very well.
The Red Prince nods.
Now, as your luck, of course, there are other forms.
The squirrel looks at you in shock. Are you sure you want to check? The squirrel turns his nose up at you.
Ah, hello, small, furry creature. How do you do?
Hey, mister, I'm sure glad...
I wonder where this leads.
You hear a small whimpering sound from behind a basket. You peer behind it and find a small human child. The child quiets and seems comforted by your presence.
There are monsters here. Lizard ones and real ones. Master was a lizard. She sent us. It's their fault. I'll never see Ma and Pa again. Parents are the best.
Her eyes lock with yours.
Mama!
The child doesn't lift her...
Go! Get out! You are not welcome here. Go!
She eyes you
Please.
I've spotted something.
Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander.
If you can tell the god...
This can't be serious.
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Natusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of...
Stop! My father. May his soul rest in the fate of our realm. Dallas?
Yes, you're...
I believe...
What a waste. Come, we'll be needed elsewhere.
The Lizard Magister, or what's left of her, lies in a puddle of gore.
She was a lizard, yet a magister.
Come on then, Lexi. Pay up.
This is not your business, Long Pig.
Don't let this moss muncher talk to you.
An intense-looking man steps between the thug and the elf and rolls up his sleeves, revealing well-muscled and heavily scarred.
Just stand aside, won't you?
Lone wolves decide their own business.
The thug freezes in fear for a moment.
Pay up, elf. No one shorts Griff. Especially not one of you.
Burrow looks you both up.
Ah, get out of here.
The elf smiles and
Follow me, before more of them trouble us. There is a safe place.
Ifan rolls his sleeves.
Good work there. Good work.
He stretches out one rough hand to shake. He grips your hand tight as a vice and pauses.
Say, you don't look all that busy now that we're safe. I've just got a small errand to run. And then I'll be looking to get the hell out of here while I've still got
He shrugs.
Mercenaries. It's a job. Everyone needs to make a living.
The little black cat trailing you hisses at him, hair raising a ridge along its back.
That's the truth. Why not help each other get out of here? The usual way. Haphazard, 2 heads are better than 1. And when push comes to
He grins.
So, before we hit the road, it's bet survival's my main priority. I'll use every trick in the book to keep us alive. But if a wayfarer's not what you're after, I've got other skills. What do you need? Can do.
He scans the horizon for threats with one green eye.
Right you are. Lead the way. Tired of the view in here yet? I am too, I must say. Good to know someone's got your back when they're going... Well, I've got a contract to complete. After that, getting the hell out of Fort Misery seems the best option.
Ifan shrugs off his backpack and reaches...
Have a read of my contract. So, time to find this Boris fellow. You've read my contract. What does that look in your eye mean? Maybe.
He sniffs the wind.
But maybe it's going to work out. I've got a contract, a man on the good to know. And likewise, with whatever errands of your own you have. Tired of the view in here yet?
He freezes.
Well, why not? Go ahead. That I did, in Lucian's own army.
He presses his lip.
There's a reason I don't, but let's talk about those old days another time. Thanks for understanding.
Amidst a crowd of screws, bolts...
And what you after?
Come again? You another friend of Niles? I told that man. Now get the hell out.
Leave me. Go. You...
Ah, a little reprieve from the din outside.
Wait, I call a timeout.
Thank you for your help with that, thug. Rare is the human who goes against their own for an elf. To be vulnerable in a place like this is tough. It is not wrong to walk in the camp. It is wrong to assault one walking. Only your kind does not see the difference. I hear of no escapes. The only way out is through the magic in this cave. We trust the healer. She is young. It gives me great pain. I'm with my family. We are making beautiful magic. Wait, before you... I am not here without your help. I do not forget this. For you, a prize. Thank you.
I do not see him. Got you! I got you! You can't get me!
The young girl's eyes are covered, but she turns toward you when you approach.
Ah, hello. Quite the blood-soaked journey has led you here. You are not who you once were, and I see it before my eyes. It is not so bad. I know which days have bread and which days have none.
Wary all of a sudden.
I cannot offer you much more than my...
Her eyebrows.
There can be a way, Amiro knows. But my protector, my friend, an elf like me, he is caught by those who hurt him. I wish you bring me great... I see something that helps. I see a lizard. He is a lizard of many dreams. Yes, please ask. Oh, I do not cover my eyes. He is a very blind man. You understand when you meet him, after you escape. I knew we must be here. My home is far. Your language gives me some trouble. It is safer here. We make no trouble for Griff.
Got you!
You are in the wrong place, Pinky. Fear? Pity, perhaps. Never mind. If you need to suit...
The soldier tightens his grip on his spear and looks past you.
I know they
got you! You can't get me!
Something isn't right here. It could be an ambush.
My unlikely friend. What do you need?
So, this is Fort Joy.
Surely you'll have one.
What a crumbling disaster.
Scram, snake face. Worse than war rations, these. Leave him be. Don't make...
Listen, I can help you.
Shut up, elf. This clown caught him stealing from my kitchen. Still won't say where he stashed my supplies. Crate of food, citrus in particular. He'll talk, or he'll die. All I want is my supplies. Happy to let this clown die in a gutter instead of my kitchen. Ain't been here long, have ya?
He twirls his knife, but...
Divine's gone. This blade is the only god watching over... Listen up.
Not like this. There's too many of them.
Griff glances from his blade to you and back.
Sure. Have a look.
If a magister finds this on you, you forget my name here. Take your coin then.
I've got that special shipment you was asking after.
You already know the terms.
Watch yourself. Easy, eh?
When another divine arises, will source change back? What if there are no sorcerers? Yet so quickly, we find source so dangerous. What in his death caused it?
Hands
So
out, you
Void
fucking
Workers are
snap.
attracted to source. But why? When another divine arises, will source
An elf, caked in mud and blood, looks up at you from the...
You believe what he says? That I am a thief?
He perks up and wipes...
Sahela, you speak to her? She sees my trouble, of course. She already knows. And she knows I help you out of here in exchange. It is all prepared. It is ready. I am too weak to go. But I am grateful. I see no one. In fact, I only hear the sound of Griff clearing his throat. You know how he does. Griff is a powerful man. Power is mysterious. In case you haven't noticed, I intend no harm. I want only some provisions, you understand. Thank you.
Don't tell anyone.
Perhaps if those bleeding dwarves didn't eat so much.
Griff glances from his...
You already know that, sure. Have a look.
When another divine arises, will source change back? What if everything there?
Worse than war rations, these.
Yet so quickly, we find source so dangerous. What in his death? So Void Worker are attracted.
As you approach the unsmiling Magister, Ifan catches your arm and speaks to you with some urgency.
I need to talk to this one for a few moments. Alone.
Ifan strides up to the Magister, speaking in a calm and controlled voice. Though you can't hear what he...
Go! I'll give you the...
Ifan walks back to you, leaving the quivering wreck of... Ifan catches you looking over...
What?
He barks a laugh.
I wanted some information. That Magister wanted to negotiate. Oh, it's just practice. I only do it when it's necessary. And it was necessary back there. He wanted me to kill someone. I didn't want to kill them. Being a little... That's about the size of it for me, all right.
After reading the scrap of paper he took from the Magister, if... The woman looks up as you approach.
What do you need? Ha! The hammer got you curious. Yeah, funny name for a gal like that. Oh, I dunno. She was a sweet soul. Quiet. People do change.
She nods once.
Clever lass, her. No wonder what Alexander sees in her. Question, by all means, get an eyeful.